Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. España! Felicidades to España! World Cup winners in 2026, the world champions. And can we say football has been saved? I think we can. Even with what we saw today, I have to say my mind was blown at some of the things we were witnessing. But Spain get the job done, and my goodness, do they overwhelmingly deserve it. They, from head to toe, from start to finish, were all guns blazing in this game with nothing to show for it until extra time. But if I'm not mistaken, all the way until the end, I'm actually going to get this up because until before the Spanish goal, it was still what I'm about to show you now. It stayed the same. Argentina had no shots on target. Wow. Argentina in a World Cup final had no shots on target. What the hell did you guys come to do? Cook up some steak? Because you didn't cook anything, as far as I'm concerned. Ferran Torres with the goal that separates Spain and Argentina for Spain to win the World Cup. Spain were all guns blazing. Right? Control in possession, control tactically, control in movement, control in positioning, control in winning the ball back, control with chances, control with shots. It was just Spain. But we didn't see any end product at all. And for that, I think it goes back to the point of what Spain lack. They lack one thing. In this whole team, there's one thing that's missing. If you get this, no one's stopping them. If they get this one thing, no one's stopping Spain. A striker, a proper striker. If Spain get a proper striker, it's curtains. And even for this World Cup, let's be honest, have you seen who they've actually played and beaten in the end? They've conceded one goal this whole tournament. They drew against Cape Verde and got the job done. Following that, beating Saudi Arabia, and then beating Austria? No, not Austria. They beat Austria later. But they won their two group games after Cape Verde. Cape Verde are the only team that can say we didn't lose to Spain, right? Then they beat Austria. They beat Portugal. They beat France. They beat Argentina. And I feel like I'm missing someone. Honestly, I have to give them all the credit here because they deserve it, as far as I'm concerned. And playing against all these teams, they didn't concede. Except Belgium. There we are, Belgium. They beat Belgium, but they beat them 2-1. So they conceded one goal. That was the only goal they conceded this whole tournament. And they done all that without a proper striker. Oyarzabal technically is a striker, but he's not a striker, let's be honest. The guy doesn't even play like a striker. He plays like an additional midfielder. So what I want to say is that Spain scored before getting the goal that counted. And I don't get why that didn't count. You know, crazy. Crazy for me. But once Argentina went down to 10 men, Enzo Fernandez with a second yellow card, and it was a second yellow card, no matter how much things have gone in Argentina's favour across this tournament, no matter how much we've got certain influences talking and whatnot, no matter how much whatever, there's nothing that could stop Enzo Fernandez from not getting a red card there. Second yellow deserved. The first yellow deserved. Second yellow deserved. Right? And they go down to 10 men and it all blows up in their faces. And even then, tactically, everything that Argentina were doing up until that point, despite them being the inferior side, you could argue, was up in smoke. Up in smoke. Until when Spain scored, Argentina thought, okay, we got to have a go at it. And they couldn't. They just couldn't. I think Argentina did everything wrong today. But it's not even about just doing everything wrong today. I thought Spain, tactically, just like they did against France, I thought tactically was spot on today. But their end product was just not there. That's it. If not, this game would have been killed long before extra time. Long before. It wouldn't have gone to extra time. It would have been sorted in 90. Right? With the amount of shots and chances that they actually had. Now, especially after going down to 10 men, Marino should have scored the header. You know, there was the offside goal that Torres scored on top of that. And it was ruled out correctly, so that one they actually showed, and you could see that a bit of his head was offside. It looked tight from where I was, but the head was a little forward, so that wasn't given. Spain needed just a little bit more end product to really kill it earlier. If not, we wouldn't have had extra time. But Argentina, you see what happens when Argentina come up against a proper team that know how to just work the ball. Argentina have no answer. This makes my point as to why from the beginning, from the moment that Argentina played against Algeria, yeah, I've said they don't scare me to the point where I'm like, oh no, this is unplayable. We're going to lose. Like, we're just going to lose, you know? Against Spain, you could argue flipping out. This is going to be like, we're just going to lose this, aren't we? Even then, like I said, because Spain have a deficiency up top. But Argentina, if you have a team that's set up correctly, you can stop Argentina. That's exactly what they did today. Spain done exactly what they had to do against Argentina today. And they shut them down completely. It's like you switched the car off. You switched Argentina off. Messi today, nowhere. Because Argentina were not allowed to use the ball. They just weren't. Every time Argentina got the ball, Spain were there to win it back. And can I just say, Rodri and for me, Fabian Ruiz, who got taken off. But again, they had options. But Rodri, what a player. The way the guy just distributes the ball is just crazy. Every time he receives, gone. Receives, gone. Receives, turns, nose, sends. Does not waste any time. The analysis that Graham Souness put on Rodri there was spot on, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of how a central midfielder actually functions. And Rodri, best in the business, in terms of being able to navigate the ball from A to B as quickly as possible, as cleanly as possible, without any threat. The amount of times that Spain were able to bypass Argentina, Argentina could not defend. They're aggressive, they're rough, they try to get in your face because they've got nothing else to turn to defensively. That's why we figured it out after today. Simple as that. I'm not taking credit away from what Argentina have. Argentina have a great team, don't get it twisted, right? But this is not 2022. In 2022, Argentina they looked unstoppable, right? And even then, when you want to go back and look at the script, there were decisions in that World Cup. We don't need to go over that now because that was 4 years ago. But we were seeing similarities here. However, in the grand scheme of things, they're an older team. They're the same team from back then, but they're older, they're a little slower, and they're not as strong. If you give them the space and you allow them to come at you, they have the technicality to kill you. If you stop them from coming at you and you go at them, they can't handle it. This is why I was so wound up when England did what they did, right? And how we let it spill. Albeit, though, I think England against Spain, it probably ends like this as well, I'll be honest. But against Argentina, that's what wound me up. They're not unbeatable. And their journey to the final has portrayed them as this unbeatable side when they nearly bottled it against Cape Verde. They nearly bottled it against Egypt. They nearly bottled it against Switzerland. Nearly. You could see the blueprint right there. Spain, technically good. Not good, great technically. Tactically, positionally, beautiful. De La Fuente, their manager, deserves so much credit. This World Cup, a big portion of Spain's success here goes to De La Fuente. I think he has managed this team spectacularly in this tournament, especially in the semi-final against France and today against Argentina. I thought his job as a manager, you got it spot on. How he sets them up, how he gets them to play, where he gets them to position themselves, how he restricts the opposition. Everything De La Fuente got Spain to do was 10 out of 10. I could not give him enough credit. And I have to say, for how old is he? 65. The guy looks 45, honestly. And if you follow De La Fuente and you actually realize how he trains and look after himself and whatnot, he's honestly, what a geezer. Overall, just what a guy. Just what a guy. And he's managed to, get Spain to win a World Cup by setting things up beautifully for his national team. So I have to say, Spain, fantastic team, fantastic crop of players. But you need that one striker. If Spain can find that one striker, let me just give you an analogy. We had this on the watch along. Someone mentioned it, and I stick with it. If Spain had a Harry Kane, it'd be curtains. It would be curtains. This wouldn't have reached extra time. It would have been 3-0 by 90, without a doubt. If they had someone to kill up top, they got everything else. So huge congratulations to Spain. Very, very deserved. World Cup winners 2026. And it will be them defending their title as they host the next one. Spain, Portugal, Morocco is the three countries that are going to be hosting the World Cup next in 2030. And Spain are going to be defending their title. So bring it on. To wrap up and to end, I do want to say to every single one of you, because we've done all the watch-alongs, we have done 48 watch-alongs this World Cup, right? And I remember setting out on it and thinking, this is going to be hell, right? Sleep schedule was in the bin, you know, tiredness was kicking in. We were doing crazy hours. It was worth it, though, and you guys made it worthwhile. I just want to give a huge thank you to every single one of you that tuned in. Much appreciated. You've helped get to the channel where it's gotten to now. We're on the brink of 15,000. If I'm not mistaken, we started the channel, and we were just past 11, if I'm not mistaken, right? 10 or 11, and we managed to get it up to here. So thank you all so much. We've got the Premier League season coming up in 4 weeks' time. The watch-alongs are going to be back for that. In the meantime, well, it's transfer daily, pretty much. It's non-stop transfer news now, so we're going to be doing daily uploads on here. Make sure you catch them all. But a huge thank you for everyone that's been along the ride and along the journey. It's been a great World Cup for us on here. And congratulations to Spain again. Felicidades, España. Very much deserved. And we turn our attention back to club football. It's been a pleasure for the internationals. Thank you all so much again. And subscribe, notification bell on. And I'll catch you tomorrow as we turn our focus back to the clubs. Have a good one, people. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Take care, people. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.